Hi, this is Togo. This is for bringing the foot to the head. About eliminating from your brain the fixed patterns which you haven't changed so ever since you lived. Addresses organizing yourself to make the joint of hips move to the limit of the ability. Sit on the floor and cross your legs. Which leg did you cross first? The right leg or the left leg? Which leg is closer to you? Lean on your hand behind you and stretch your legs and recross them. Your hands behind. Recross your legs without your hands. Do that again several times and finish with the left leg in front. Stretch the left leg a little bit more forward. A little bit. If you stretch fully, it's not a little bit. A little bit forward. Take your left hand and put it underneath the left heel from inside the left leg. Fingers underneath the left heel, and with the right hand get hold of the left foot from underneath. Thumb also from underneath, together with other fingers. Notice how you organize yourself. If you don't know what you are doing, you don't know. If you don't know, you can't do what you want. If you do automatically, you don't understand. Therefore, it's no use. If you don't do the process of organizing yourself, then every movement is incorrect, and they will never be right. Now slowly move the leg in front of you, up and back. Lift the foot up a little bit and bring the foot near to you and lower it. Slowly lift the leg. Make a little circle. Bring it towards yourself and down again. Slowly, many times. Forward and backward, not right and left. Without power, just lift it and bring it near to yourself. Slowly, lift it and bring it near to yourself. Bend it and near to yourself and go down again. Rest for a moment. Take your left leg again as you did. This time, lift it a little bit in front of you and move it to the right and move it to the left. Just like that. Observe only. What forces you to stop at this angle? Why can't you move more to the right and more to the left? What dictates to stop like that? If you organize your muscle tight, you can't move. See whether if you could move so that the knee goes more and more to the left. How would you do that? The left knee goes more to the left until you can put it on the floor. It won't do by insisting. Insisting, you can only tear something. Suppose if you lift your right knee while you move to the left, slowly. If you do fast, that is achieving, and you will never learn anything after that. How can't you think of such a simple thing? Have some imagination. How about using the other leg humanely? Now slowly, move your right knee, lift your right knee, turn your shoulders to the left. Lift the right knee more until it stands on the foot. Go to your left more and more. Move the left knee and the leg until it lies on the floor. Tilt the right knee, tilt the right foot. Go until the right knee lies on the floor. Go to the left more. Put the left knee also on the floor. Look how far you can go with your left knee. If it hurts because your brain does not have done this sort of thinking for years, it should ache. You should be in pain. Now slowly come back to the same position. Do it again until you feel that it's actually the most natural thing. When you were a baby, you did it without thinking. Only since you have been doing very clever techniques, you lost the ability to think. Recover that ability to think slowly. What is the difficulty now? If your body works and you don't use your brain, the body is an idiot. Only intelligence in the body is the brain. Is your muscle short or is your brain short? Slowly move so until the other hip joint gets free and nice. If you have not done for 50 years, therefore you must go slowly and allow yourself to go slowly. Go as slowly as you can until it feels nice. Otherwise it will be painful. What would you expect? Go slowly. Go slowly. Go slowly if you want to improve. Go slowly. Then you will improve. Then you can see that your previous improvement is nothing to do with the willpower, not with exercising. It has to do with becoming aware what you are doing so that you can do what you want. This is instantaneous. It has to do with intelligence, with understanding, with feeling, and with thinking. Moshe said that any muscle that is put in an idiotic strain will cramp. Anybody who does not know how to swim, then starts swimming, will have calf cramps, foot cramps. People who are lying in bed and suffer cramps, their circulation is bad, their entire organization is bad. Muscles which are misused cannot work. If you have a joint with certain available range, and if you sit and don't use more than a tenth of it, what happens with the joint, the brain, and the places where you didn't use that movement? It's not because the muscle is short, but the input in the brain's constant pattern of the use is not changed. Therefore, you maintain and do exactly the same thing for 30, 40, 50 years. In a way, this is contrary to your structure, contrary to your intelligence, contrary to everything except what you have accepted, what other people say how you should be. What do you expect if you live by somebody else's instruction? You are miserable, in pain. You should live by your own instructions. Your own instruction means you should look for comfort, not to be bothered by all sorts of secondary and important things. In your world, you are the most important person. If you don't care for yourself, your muscle cannot act. Use your entire self in order to make your life more comfortable. Don't impose restrictions on yourself. Don't overcome pain. Learn to do the movement so that you don't have pain. If it was painful, you should do a tenth until it's not painful, until you can do it. Each time encroaching by the tenth of an inch and finding at the end that you can actually discover a way of how to use your pelvis, how to use your head, and so on. That movement is painless and has gotten the full range of the human movement. On the contrary, if you do the movement and are not paying attention and it's painful in the joint or the other joint, you wouldn't be able to do it at all. How can you overcome pain if the joint is twisted and painful? It's contradictory in your experience, in your understanding of the world, and not humane. If you have a blind spot in the brain, the blind spot is due to your not understanding, not knowing yourself, but not due to less intelligence. As soon as you realize what you are doing, you can do what you want. Don't do the movement if it's painful. Avoid pain. If you can't sit, lie down. Learning under pain is the kind of things that you do in the concentration camps. Therefore, nobody survives really properly. If you want to live avoid pain. You cannot learn under stress. Learning must be a pleasant sort of thing. If it isn't, you cannot learn. If it's painful, you cannot learn. The body must be painless in order to live. You must have pain in order to preserve it from trouble. When it's painful, you are warned what you are doing is wrong. So if you insist on doing that, you will be in the bigger pain. That's all. If you want to overcome pain, you destroy yourself. Use your brain. If you don't know how to learn without destroying yourself, ask the person who knows and take time to do it. The movements are nothing. They are an idiotic thing. What I'm after isn't flexible bodies, but flexible brains. What I'm after is to restore each person to their human dignity. Sit up again. Put your left leg as it was before. Put your both hands there. Once you have seen that you can do it to the left, what about doing the same thing to the right? How would you do that? Slowly. Just think there may be a good way of doing it. Try to move to the right as much as you put to the left as before. It has nothing to do with the age. It has nothing to do with the intelligence. It has to do only with the ignorance. You are trying to reorganize habits of the thought. Habits are extraordinarily important things, just like a pain. Better habits make you live the way you live. If you did not have that habit, it would be more difficult. Better habits save you if you don't use the brain from having a bigger problem than it would have if you didn't have that habit. If you have a habit, it looks simple and easy. Can you see that you need a lot of intelligence to be able to find out what you can do? What's difficulty? If you insist in getting there, you will break something to get there. Bend the right leg if your right leg is straight. Straighten the right leg if your right leg is bent. Which way can you go more to the right? Feel the difference. Bend your right leg. Take the right leg near and go more to the right. Notice how far you are going to the right. Take it and come back. Now go to the left as far as you can go. What is the object of doing this? The object is to discover that you are limited. Your ability to move to visit space where you want. Use your joint to the limit of the ability. Otherwise, the joint will become cuckoo in 10 years because it has not moved. If you don't have years of experience to sit like that, you have to use your brain. Your brain means visiting the space, visiting yourself, and realizing how you place yourself, where and how, and do it gently because you are learning something important to you. Why do you put the right thumb with the other fingers below the left foot? Now put the right thumb on the top of the left foot and lift it and bring it to your right shoulder. Can you? Take the thumb away and try now. Lift it to the right shoulder. What is the difference? So, putting the right thumb with the other finger was the right advice. Now you can move from the right to the left. The object of the movement is to make the joint of your hips move to the limit of the ability, so that it can be maintained in good shape forever after. Now stop it. Lie on your back to see what it feels like. Feel the difference between the right leg and the left leg, and the whole left side and the right side. Slowly bend your right leg and put the right knee on the floor on the side. Put the right foot on the floor on the side, not underneath the other leg. Just put it on the side. Lift your left leg and get hold of it with your hands like you did when you sat. Take the left leg and put your left hand underneath the left heel from inside. The left thumb below with other fingers, ape-like fashion. Right hand hold the outside of the foot from underneath, ape-like fashion. Slowly lift your leg. Bring it near to you. Go down again. Don't strain. Just do the things you can do. Slowly, slowly. Lift gently. Lift your head to become near to the foot. Don't strain. Lift. Don't lift higher than you can. Do a simple, easy movement. If you want to achieve it, you can only kill yourself. That's all. The more you strain, the more you stiffen yourself. The more difficult, therefore the more you will suffer. Slowly. Lift the head gently. Lift it to the ceiling. In our culture, we are so used to be instructed and have to abide by other people's decision, how to live, what to do. If you let anybody to begin with, it will take a long time before you learn how to be comfortable by yourself. Now slowly. Don't push hard. Don't lift high. Just lift the leg the way you feel comfortable. Roll yourself to the right until something touches the floor. If you haven't done it in your life a single time and you think you can do it with one go, you will kill yourself and break your body. Slowly. Move until you feel it goes gently. Encroach by 1/100 of an inch. Slowly. Can you see that it has nothing to do with anything except patience and self-observation? Slowly, steadily. If you do too fast, your spine does not follow the floor. Therefore, you are straining. You will be in pain afterward. Go slowly. Slow, easy, and comfortable. It should not be painful. Slowly roll until the left knee can touch the floor. It can be on the right side, because your left hand will never let you do it. You can do it only on the left side. If you don't know that, you have to live in your body another century before you know. Slowly, slowly, very gently, very slowly. You just go where it's easy and comfortable to go, and let that is painless and easy to do. Otherwise, you don't learn. You just torture yourself. Slowly, slowly. Let your head follow the floor so that you wouldn't have so much strain. You wouldn't hold your breathing. Go around slowly to the right side and slowly go to the left side. See if you don't stiffen the head unnecessarily but move it slowly. You would have no trouble at all, and in fact you can sit up. If you congest it in your face, you are straining. It's stringent things to live by one's own direction, by one's own responsibility. Slowly. Stop it. Sit up. How did you sit up? If you don't use your intelligence, you have to suffer. Take your left leg like you did before to begin with your hands. Bend your right knee sideways. Lift it forward and see whether there is any improvement in lifting your leg. Any improvement. If you stretch your arms, your leg will go farther away. Slowly lift it overhead. Bring the foot onto the head gently. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Don't touch, it's not important. You live without it so long. You can live another half an hour without it. Hold on the left foot as you are and put your left leg in front of you on the floor. Thumb together with other fingers. Slowly move the foot to the left like you did before to touch. And see whether you could put your head down and see whether you could touch somewhere the knee with your head, with your mouth. But you have to touch. Therefore, the knee is you, the hands are you, the nose is you, your back is you, your ass is you. It's not the question of pulling or killing nose, breaking the neck, or spoiling the spine. You find a way of going down. Put your legs where it belongs to, so that you can slowly touch and take a time to learn to do it. Slowly, slowly. Don't hurry. Put your right thumb underneath. That would be easier if you haven't. Now put the knee somewhere so it's easy to do. Left knee on the floor. You can put the other leg anywhere you like. Do something with the other leg. Put the foot a little bit more forward. See whether you can touch the leg with your mouth anywhere you like. Find a place where you can touch with your mouth anywhere. You may kiss your knee. And go slowly to the right and see whether you could touch anywhere else with your mouth on the left leg, on the left foot. Slowly, and of course, the other leg there is no restriction in it. No restriction. Use anyway. It's not how you should do it. You find out how to do it. Without guidance, it might take a month before you find it by yourself. Slowly, go ahead. Can you touch everywhere? It's everything to do with your ability to think, sense, feel, and act, but intelligence. That makes it possible. Slowly, slowly, gently, go ahead and find out. Find your own pace to learn to do it. Don't force yourself. It doesn't matter if you don't touch. If you have already lived a few years without touching, you can live without touching another half an hour. Slowly, slowly. Just stop it. Now bring your right leg forward and bend it if your right leg is behind. If you have your right leg forward, keep it forward. Slowly lift the left leg in the air and see whether you could bring it over your head a little bit and bring your head near to it. Gently, slowly. Can you see more and more you learn to do it? Slowly, slowly, go gently. You can learn more than you know and better than you are. Moshe stated that so long as you are not in the grave, you can do any dumb thing that you want, provided you know what you are doing, where you hold your thumbs, where you hold your nose, and what you are doing with yourself. Then you can learn to do it without exception, any age. It doesn't matter what sort of trouble you are up to now. Until now, it's immaterial. If that's not convincing, I don't know what is. Put the left knee on the floor like before, with both hands on the left foot. Put your head closely to the floor, closely to the knee. and roll slowly. Move your head to the left, encroaching by the tenth of an inch, and reorganize yourself in such a way that your head goes closer to the knee and moves away to the left on the floor. And the other leg will organize yourself so until you can slowly roll on your back gently by encroaching by the tenth of the degree, not by a million. Slowly. Once you are there, move your head, body, and leg to come back to sit again. Slowly. Slowly. You only learn slowly to do it. Slowly. Don't force it, not in one go. Go back and try again. Encroach by the tenth of the degree. See what you have to do with the other leg. Now go back, roll back, lie on your back. Now roll back, don't lift your head. Roll forward with the head down to the floor. Go and sit up. That will be more comfortable. If you lift your head too soon, it's uncomfortable. Slowly, slowly. Don't hurry. It doesn't matter if it takes another 5 seconds. Listen to yourself. You have been abiding by the other people's instruction, by your teachers, by your rabbi, your priest, your everything. Slowly roll forward. Touch the floor with your head and encroach by the tenth of degree. Bend the right arm. Use the left leg to pull on the leg. Slowly. Use everything you have, all yourself, not your body, your entire self. Go back and try again. Gently, slowly. Take your time. Take your time. Use your right leg freely. If you're holding the right leg, can you put it on the floor? Put your right foot on the floor somewhere to help. Move the right leg so that it's easy. Roll. Use your right leg too. Roll your head on the floor. Forward, forward, forward. Bring your head back to touch the middle of your left leg. Then you can lift your head to sit up. Stop that. Sit and put your right leg in front and take your left leg. Bend the right knee. Why bend? If you don't know, who would know? How can you move without using your legs? Have your right leg straight. How far can you go forward and backward, side to side? Now bend your right knee and see how far can you go forward and backward, side to side. Can you see that your right leg helps you to balance yourself so that you can go wherever you like? When your right leg is straight, you are cuckoo. You can't go as much because you would fall. You have legs, but if you don't know how to use them, what's the use of learning any damn things? So use the leg. Now just lift your left leg and see how far can you go to put the leg on your head. Can you see that the inside of your left foot fits your head? If you decide to do it just by achieving, by pulling, or by making the effort in spite of pain, you may succeed one day, but then you won't be able to do it next day because you've been in terrible pain. 3 days afterwards, the body will heal, but you won't be able to do it again. Unless you learn the software like that, it doesn't matter how much effort you make. You can learn with all the training that you have, with all overcoming pain, with all the strain. Have a little rest. You're working too hard. Get up and walk around and see what it feels like in the leg that became intelligent like you are. What is the difference? Sense your legs. Lie on your back. Try now take the left leg and with your hands like you did before. The right foot, right leg standing on the floor and the right knee bent. Lift the head and see whether you can put your left foot on the top of the head in the lying position or not. Slowly, slowly. It's unimportant. Stop it, stop it. Let's see how useful the brain can be. Left leg bent and standing. Take your right foot with your hand as in the same way as you did take the left. That means the right hand goes underneath to get the right heel. Right arm fairly straight. Left hand holds outside of the right foot. Lie still with your head on the floor. Just imagine, do nothing. Imagine only that you lift the right leg, lift the right leg. Imagine, don't move, don't move. Imagine that you don't have to make an effort with your left arm either. You don't have to hold your breath either. So you lift the right foot and you think that you are going to lift it a little bit higher. Bring it near to yourself. Don't do anything. Just think. Just think. Imagine. You are going to lift the right foot like you did first with your left before. Now imagine that you are going to lift your right leg and you are going to lift your head. You don't have to do anything. Just imagine in your entire body, in your entire self. How would you do that? Lift the right leg, lift the head, make the body soft. So you are doing nothing. You use no straining. Is there? Slowly think that you are going to lift the head and the leg and imagine how the foot will fit the head. Can you imagine that? It means that the foot fit the head fit the foot. Now slowly, now hold like that and slowly use your left leg to swing yourself to sitting position. Use your left leg to swing yourself to sitting position. Now bend your left leg sideways, your left knee to the side. Sit like that and lift your right leg a little bit. Imagine that you are going to turn to the right until your right knee lies on the floor like you did before. Your left leg will move. Imagine. Don't do it. Just imagine doing it. Lift the leg, close your eyes, and imagine doing it. Imagine yourself turning, doing something with your left leg, but don't do anything. Don't attempt to do anything. Don't try to see whether you can think. Just think. Imagine that you do that, and you'll see that if you imagine properly, you feel that something is happening in your body to organize itself so that you can do it. And you'll see, and then you can do it without doing anything. If you use your brain, your imagination, you'll find that you get actually easier, faster, and better to do it without actually doing it. So think that you are going to turn like that to your right. Your left leg will lift the left knee until you tilt and until your right leg can lie on the floor onto your right. Imagine how you are going to do it. Imagine. Obviously, the important thing is to imagine from the small toe of your left foot. Hold the left leg as you did. If you don't hold the leg, you find more difficult to do, more difficult to imagine. Organize yourself so that it's comfortable, so you can do anything. Imagine that you turn to the right until the right knee lies on the floor. Left knee moves. Imagine that 3 times. Think it through from the top of your head to the spine, through the shoulders, through the arms, through your breathing, through your sex, through your ass, through everything you have. the big toe to the small toes between your legs, under your armpits, and everywhere you have hidden that you don't mention to anybody. All that go. Imagine that this is you. That part will organize itself in such a way you can put your right knee on the floor to the right. If you have thought it through 3 times, try to do it and see how it works. If you are straining, it's not good enough. Stop and do it again. Slowly, slowly. Stop it. Now imagine that you move to the left, but don't do it. Do you remember with the other side? Think it through. How do you organize yourself to do it? If you don't bend your left knee, you'll find that your thinking will be limping because it will neglect the left leg. Therefore, the thinking will never have a good effect. Think how you are going to move to the left 3 times. Think it through from the toes, from every secret place in yourself that you haven't been thinking, visited. Why do you have to think from the toes, between your legs, under your armpits and the back, the spine and the shoulders, eyes, head, neck, the mouth, everything else that you have? How does it work? Moshe briefly explained that we have a reticular system in the nervous system. Reticular system goes from below to the top, goes through the entire brain from the old brain to the midbrain to the new brain, and connects all parts of your brain. It is this reticular system that actually divides attention everywhere. Therefore, it's a reticular system. When you think of the foot, head, this and that, you are actually making the brain, the connection of the whole brain, function properly. For that purpose, that's why it works. If we don't use the reticular system, it won't work. It will break. But if you use the reticular system and distribute your attention throughout your entire self, the whole muscular system softens and the tonus is reduced. Therefore, everything bends and becomes supple and nice. It doesn't matter how near the graveyard is. Study.com describes that the reticular activating system acts as a gatekeeper of information between sensory systems except smell and the conscious mind. Now try slowly and see whether you can move to your left after having thought it through 3 times. Go ahead and see. Can you see that it works? It works just by thinking and doing nothing. Then why do people kill themselves doing idiotic things and they can't succeed doing that? When you don't have to do anything, just imagine yourself. It's incredible. It works with everybody. Now put your right foot on the floor with your hands as it is and take your left leg backward. Organize yourself like that. Think, don't do anything. Think how you are going to put yourself, where you are going to put your leg. You don't have to change, just think it through, so that you can find one place on your leg that you can kiss with your mouth. Don't do it, just imagine. The thumb must be below and together with the other fingers. Otherwise, thinking is with the thumb, therefore it won't be able to go near. Your brain will refuse to let the leg go near. Slowly, imagine that you are bending forward, organizing your leg somewhere in such a way that you can bend and touch with your mouth any spot on the right leg. Find out which spot can you touch without doing it, just thinking. And you will see that your thinking shows you actually where you are stiff and why it doesn't work and where it doesn't work. That's why thinking does it, because you are actually changing the tonus where it can be changed. Means in the motor cortex, in the intentional cortex. If there is a change in there, the body will get soft. If it's not there, then you can kill yourself. It won't get soft. There is no way you are doing it. Now think it through. You can move your mouse in your imagination all along the leg like you did before with the other leg. Can you? Do that in your imagination. In your imagination, make yourself comfortable. You can lean on one hand with your right hand if it's uncomfortable. It doesn't really matter if you put your right hand on the floor or not. The more comfortable you are, the better you think. Can you see that your brain works better than you know? Therefore, it's pity that you don't do it that way because you could actually make your life more comfortable and easier the way you want it to be. Can you see that you are actually better than you know? Recognize your enormous achievement and that you are better than you started this session and better than you know. Now touch the leg with your mouse. That's extraordinary. Can you see that you haven't done anything, but it works? Now slowly in your imagination, roll to your right side. Remember how you did on the left side. Put your head down a little bit, and in your imagination, roll to the right. Go slowly. Don't do it. Just think it. Just think it. Roll to the right. Of course, you have to find out where you are stiff. In thinking, you can feel that because you are mobilizing yourself as if to do it. Therefore, you can feel how you are doing it right or wrong. It is correct to do it in thinking only after you have done it on the one side, and you know what to think. Otherwise, you don't know what to think. That's why it won't work. Can you see that once you did on the one side, the other side you don't need to do the work? If you learn a few times on the left side, then you can do it only by thinking on the right side, by doing nothing at all. Slowly imagine that you are rolling on your right side with your head on the floor, and you are rolling over on the right side slowly. Imagine, don't do it. If you imagine, you will see that in your imagination. You have to know where to put your head and how to put it. If you keep it stiff, it won't work because it's not thinking and just doing nothing. Imagine for the experience you had in a minute ago on the other side. Slowly, think it through. And if you think it through correctly 3 times, it's enough. But you must think it through from the bottom, from the toes, through the spine, through the chest, through the armpit, through your buttocks, through your nose, through your mouth, through your head, through everything, so that you can actually get the entire self organized for doing it properly. After you thought it through 3 times, go on and have a try and see whether you can roll on the side really comfortably, gently, and slowly. See how nicely you can do it. Can you see that thinking does some good for you? Can you see this side is better compared to the other side? Because this side has an experience of before without tiredness. Slowly, lower the head. Don't lift the head. Go ahead, sit up. Now slowly lie on your back. Take your right foot and in your imagination, see whether you can bring it a little bit near to the head. Lift the head, of course, while you do that in your imagination again. Don't make any efforts. Don't push. Don't pull. As you have nothing to do, you can be actually very gentle with yourself and organize yourself. Now as you do that, don't forget your left leg. Slowly think how you roll to your side and sit up. Hold your right foot with your hands. It's easier to think when you are more or less near that position. Take your right heel with your right hand. bend your left knee sideways. Now slowly imagine how you roll back to the sitting position onto your right. How do you use your hands, your arms, your legs, your feet? Don't do it. Just think it through. Only 3 times, provided you think it through, considering your entire self, even your inside, even your heart, even your kidneys, even your stomach, every damn thing you have. If you don't put your thumb in the right place with other fingers together, you can't think properly for the movement, and your brain would never be able to imagine the movement. Now think it through 3 times and go on and see how it works. Go on and roll. Don't you lift the head too soon. Roll slowly, slowly, with the head as close to the floor. Don't get up too soon. Now slowly sit up and see how easy it is. Can you see you don't have to do exercises? Can you see it really works? It doesn't work with one person. It works with everybody without exception. One improve a little faster and one a little slower. You might need another minute. It's not another year. It's not another lesson. Another few minutes. Moshe said, all you have to do is to use yourself properly. Use your brain as much as you use your ass. If you use only the ass, then you are the ass. If you don't use your head, you don't use your ass. You have to use all of it, your entire self. Simple. Take your right foot with your hands. Imagine that now you are going to put the right foot on the top of the head and the head to the right foot. Don't do it, just think. How you are going to organize yourself to put it on the top of the head so that the inside of the foot fits actually the convolution of the head. Slowly. Just see whether you can feel it or you can imagine it. Reduce the effort in your arms and backs and see how would you use your left leg, hip joint, breathing, your heartbeat, your stomach, gases in the stomach, and everything. How do you think it through to put the foot on the top of the head effortlessly? Think it through 3 times to your entire body, to the legs, to the both feet, through in between your legs, between your buttocks, everywhere you have, between your breast, underneath, behind, every part of your body, and the most secret place you have. And see how do you have to organize yourself, and especially your mouth. Don't be so serious. It will work anyway. It works whether you want it or not, because you are cleverer than you know. It's only that you haven't got that confidence. You are better than what you do and what account you give yourself. Now slowly, if you thought it through 3 times, see whether you can or can't. Think of how to do it. Slowly lift the leg in front of you. Lift the leg. Left leg bent, of course. Otherwise, it was difficult in thinking. Slowly. Don't force yourself. If you have not thought it through, think it through again. If it is difficult, something wrong in thinking because it worked on the other side. Put the shoulder underneath the knee. The knee could be on the shoulder. If you can't think it, you can do it. You will never do it. Introduce your arm and put the knee on the shoulder. If the shoulder goes in, the head can go in. Can you see that there is no difficulty that the brain cannot overcome? Try to do the same thing with your left leg. See which one is better. One with walk with or walk with thought with. Try the left leg once and see the quality and stop it. Try the right one. Right one you did nothing. Which is easier to do? Of course, at the end, both should become equal. the one you did in more time or the other one you did in much shorter time. Feel the difference on the left side and the right side. Stiff one side and better the other side. Do you know why? Because one you have been learning by actually doing, in spite of what I said go easy. You really strain because you wanted to do it. Therefore you pull and strain. The muscle responds by stretch reflex becomes stronger. Therefore it's more difficult. But the one you think you have no stretch reflex and no other reflex. It's just your imagination and organize your brain to send the right impulses, and as you have done it before. You know what to think, how to think, therefore it's terribly effective. Get up and walk around. See what does it feel like after such torturous thinking. What does it feel to walk now? How are you standing up? Sense your legs, your hips, lighter, heavier. How do you carry your head? How is your pelvis? How is your breathing? How are your legs? How are you? How is your body? See whether you have more full faces or cheerful faces. Moshe stated, you are capable of learning faster than anything that you've ever known in your life. You will know it without writing it down. In fact, you are superior to what you know you are. If you don't want to use it, of course, you can go back to the old pattern you used up to now and be as you were. There is no reason. If you pay attention, you will see that with that amount of learning you had, you will find yourself doing things at home, wherever you go. You will do something so much differently, surprising to yourself and to everybody around you. And I believe that in that respect, you can see how much I have to give myself to get it out of you, the quality that you have, and you know how to feel if you don't use it properly. Thank you very much. Have a day that matters.